Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to have you with us for a really precious, beautiful, rare, and powerful opportunity to offer prayers and blessings for Michael. And some of it is for honoring and giving thanks for the living, embodied being of Michael. And a more significant part is about offering our blessings and prayers for the eternal, immortal soul of Michael, as he's shortly going to be leaving the physical body behind and adventuring onward. So thank you for being here with us in this space, in this moment. It is an amazing and surreal honor and privilege to be holding this kind of space and awareness and intention together. So thank you. Michael, would you like to express anything?
I'd just like to thank you all so much for being here this evening. For those of you who were here on Friday, I doubly thank you, and I apologize for the redundancy, but I will try to stay brief. I just want to say what an honor it has been to know all of you over all these precious, precious years, how deeply you've blessed my life and enriched my life. My life has been precious beyond words, and you all are an integral part of that. And as challenging as the last 12 years have been, and as ready as my body clearly is to move on, my spirit is so grateful, so touched, and in my take, will be continuing to hover over and cheer you all on and send blessing and light. But I hope you all know just how much light and wisdom and compassion you've brought to my life, and how profoundly, profoundly grateful I am for all of you. Thank you.
So we invite you to join us in a candle lighting for setting intentions for our prayer time and meditation and spiritual practice this evening. And I'm not sure if you can tell this. I'm gonna bring you a little closer so you can see that there's a picture of Michael's guru and the guru's guru in front of some flowers on our altar for this evening.
And there is also a cat present in the room, so Zoom hilarity may ensue at any moment. So something we can all look forward to.
Will you hold that one, please? So as we light these candles, we invite you to share a moment of setting our intentions to tend as consciously and beautifully as we can to the preciousness of this human body, of this human life form, the miracle and the brevity of this human experience that includes such an absolute depth of love, of power, of blessings, and of tending with as much awareness and as much heartful presence as possible to the journey of the soul, the spirit. We invite these living lights of these candles to represent the God ideal, the divine beloved, the eternal, the seen and the unseen, that which has always lived, the unstruck sound, unborn, undying, from age to age. And we invite the living presence of the divine beloved to hold and infuse this space in this moment with her living presence as a comfort, as a guiding light, as a living spirit of freedom, of peace, and of joy. Swaha, Amen, Amen, blessed be.
We'll be continuing at this point with a metta practice, which I'm sure is something that most, if not all of you, are familiar with. I know those of you who know me know from my geeky background that I'm appreciative of the fact that this has been scientifically corroborated to help activate the prefrontal cortex, actually make us less self-absorbed, more aware of the people around us, more compassionate towards those around us. For those of you with a regular practice, if there is slightly different wording that you tend to prefer, I invite you to substitute that in your mind. I'll also be inviting you to close your eyes so you can envision the members of your life that I'm inviting you to reflect on. But if for any reason closing your eyes leaves you uncomfortable, absolutely fine just to lightly veil the eyes. But I'm going to be closing my eyes, and I invite you to follow my example. So to begin with, I invite you to envision yourself, to think of your being in all of its wonders and all of its humanity, and envisioning yourself to say, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be happy. Now I invite you to take a moment to envision your beloved. That can be your beloved partner, that can be your beloved pet, that can be your beloved friend. But the person who's closest to you in this life, whether still in the body or not, to envision that person, hold that person in your heart, and to say, may my beloved be well and safe and happy. Now I invite you to envision your family. For some of us, our relationship with family is inherently rich and easeful. For many of us, our relationship with our family can have its ups and downs, just like our relationship with ourselves. Even if your relationship with your family has its rocky moments, I'd still invite you to envision your family. But if the thought of your family is less than comfortable with your heart at the moment, it is absolutely fine to envision the family that you've built, the family of friends, the family of community, every bit as valid. But whatever family means to you, envisioning your family and thinking, may my family be well and safe and happy. And now I invite you to envision your friends, the people who've come to your life, whether through shared interest, shared community, through work, through happenstance, but the people who've enriched your life, not through birth, but through deep connection. And envisioning your friends and saying, may my friends be well and safe and happy. And then envisioning your acquaintances, the people you see walking down the street, the cashier at the grocery store that you might see every week, but whose name you still might not know, the random people that you run into, yet still form a part of your life. And as you envision them, saying, may my acquaintances be well and safe and happy. And now I'll invite you to envision a person who has challenged you, and in turn, a person you have challenged. Because generally speaking, it tends to be a road that goes both ways. And the more we can be aware of that, the more compassion we can have for others and for ourselves. And remember, just as with challenging moments with family, this does not have to be the most challenging person in our lives. Sometimes it's fine just to envision the minor challenges. But the more we can stretch our hearts, the more we can reach out toward that higher road, the more we build that equanimity that we want in our lives. So, to the extent comfortable for you tonight, envisioning someone who has challenged you and who you have challenged, and asking that he or she be well and safe and happy. And now I invite you to envision someone you know who is suffering. That could be physical suffering, that can be emotional suffering. We know those are absolutely and utterly equally valid. But envisioning someone you know, whether close or distant, and saying, may those who are suffering be well and safe and happy. And now I invite you to envision a loved one who is no longer in your life. And again, this could be a family member, a friend, this could be a beloved pet, but some spirit that you have lost. Envisioning that soul and saying, may those I have lost be well and safe and happy. And finally, I invite you to envision the entire planet, all the sentient beings, from the fish in the sea to the birds in the air, to the trees with the wind dancing through their leaves, and of course all the human souls in all the varied conditions we experience. And to say to yourself, may all beings be well and safe and happy. Namaste.
I changed the audio settings because we're going to do a song together and I don't want to blast you out. So we'll see if this works. Next, I'd like to invite you to join me in the Sufi invocation of Hazrat Piro Murshid Inayat Khan. I'm putting the words in the chat window for you, and you're welcome to say it along with us if you're comfortable with that, and if not, you're welcome to just listen and know that this is a very short intention-setting prayer practice that Michael and I share with many people on a daily basis. Towards the One, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Amen. One of the songs and prayers that Michael has particularly enjoyed and asked me to include specifically for this prayer meeting is what Piro Murshid Inayat Khan calls the zikr, that there's an English part and also an Arabic part. And I'm not sure how much of it we're going to be able to sing together, but they do kind of bounce back and forth together. And so you're welcome to sing along with either part you want or make up your own part. And essentially, in the Arabic form of the zikr, or thikr is how it's said in Arabic, but Murshid said zikr with a Z because he used the Persian pronunciation. Saying La ilaha illallah is saying that there is nothing outside of the all-inclusive, all-pervading divine reality. And part of our way of expressing that in English words, which is also the instruction that this beautiful teacher, Murshid, gave, is that we can say something that means the same thing as it pertains to our human experience by saying, this is not my body. This is the temple of God. This is not my heart. This is the altar of God. So we'll be singing that as well. And so join in as you feel ready and able. When I first started hanging out with Michael, he assured me that he never sings. And it's not true. This is not my body. This is not my body. This is not my body. This is the temple of God. This is not my body. This is not my body. This is not my body. This is the temple of God. This is not my heart. This is not my heart. This is not my heart. This is the
You see, this is the part I meant when I told Sarah that I don't sing. Counter melodies, but I'm glad it's here for posterity, so that's good, it'll last.
And this is also what we mean with all of our big, important wisdom teachings about disconnecting from our attachments and our clinging and our associations and these ways that we love the experience of being in a body, of having a personality, of being in the world with all of our loved ones, and that it's so easy to be confused and to love the confusion of feeling and believing that this is who and what we are, instead of recognizing the reality that this is the privilege and the gift of a small, precious moment. So I invite you to join me in a blessing prayer from Piro Murshid Inayat Khan. And I won't ask you to say it with me, but just to hold this in your heart's awareness while we invite the presence of the living, infinite, divine reality to offer a blessing of purification, of healing, and ultimately of freedom for Michael, for his soul that is getting ready to let go of this earthly experience. Please, beloved God, heal Michael's spirit from all the wounds that his heart has suffered through this life of limitation upon the earth. Purify his heart with thy divine light. Send upon his spirit thy mercy, thy compassion, and thy peace. Amen.
And we'll be continuing with a rendition of the Loka Samasta prayer, with which I'm sure most of you are familiar. Again, a traditional Buddhist prayer that all beings might be safe and happy. So the words, as I'm sure you're familiar with, are Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which I believe Sarah is about to put up in the chat window. Every tradition has a slightly different way of doing this, including the traditions we're familiar with. So if we go off in different keys, then it's one more opportunity to practice compassion. So we'll be doing 4 repetitions, slightly different tune, third time through, and we'll do that 3 times. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. 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 loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
In some Buddhist traditions, it is common to hear and hold the ideals of the Bodhisattva, that is, the great beings who have attained such spiritual realization, such awareness of the capital R, real, and instead of choosing to transcend the world of limitation and the cycles of reincarnation, the bodhisattvas choose to stay engaged in the world of the living and the world of limitation in order to be of benefit, to be compassionate, guiding presence for all sentient beings until all sentient beings have attained freedom, liberation. And I have a strong suspicion that Michael is a bodhisattva. And I'm not smart enough to know what the cycles of reincarnation might be like, but I do have enough experience with Michael to know that he holds the sincerity of loving compassion and the authentic foundation of desire for the happiness, the peace, and the well-being of all, that if he has the opportunity to stay and continue being a guiding light, a blessing, a compassion, and encouragement for others, he will. Even as he's shaping a closing hour of prayer and meditation, he chooses practices that are offering blessings for the happiness, the contentment, for the freedom from suffering for all beings. And I invite all of us in this moment to turn our hearts toward those ideals of generosity, of clear, shining awareness that result in the opening of the heart and the endless flow of compassion for the benefit of all beings. And if it is useful for you to hold the phrases from the metta practice, the loving kindness practice that Michael led, or this blessing for the generosity and the flow of compassion for all beings through the loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, all the beings in all the worlds. You are welcome to hold any of these phrases or ideas, even if it's a general image of light, of love, of strength, of courage. And we're going to spend about 7 minutes in a silent meditation and just inviting compassion and well-being to flow into your own heart and to overflow as a fountain of blessing for the benefit of all beings. We'll have 7 minutes in silence.
And we'll continue with the Asatoma prayer. I promised the last Sanskrit, I believe, for the evening. As many of you are already aware, this is a prayer not only for the enlightenment of all, but this is also a prayer for the overcoming of the fear of death, which is, of course, natural and human, but also in the yogic perspective, based on a misunderstanding. And this is a prayer for overcoming that fear, not only for those who are facing death, but every bit as importantly, and arguably more importantly, for those who are observing the loss of a loved one. We'll start with the Sanskrit, and we'll be doing that in a call and echo style. So I'll sing the first line, and I'll invite you to join Sarah as she echoes it, and then we'll be singing the English together. Asatoma Satgamaya
Asatoma Satgamaya
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya
Tamashoma Jyotirgamaya
Mrityorma Amratangamaya
Mrityurma Amritangamaya
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
And then, if you wish, in English together. Lead us from unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness into the light. Lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
For the next piece, spelled P-E-A-C-E and P-I-E-C-E both. I would like to ask all of you, beautiful friends, family, loved ones, to let me be your hands. That I know that everyone who knows and loves Michael wishes to be with him in person, to be able to hug him and place hands on his physical body and to feel the warmth of the life and the power that is still present in this human form. And I assure you, all of that power and warmth and light is so present in this human form. And if Michael had the physical stamina to be able to be with all of you in person, he certainly would love to. And since that is not realistic right now, I'm going to ask you to let me be your hands for this moment. And I'm going to bring an oil that is in a nice uh, Christian persuasion, frankincense and myrrh as an anointing oil. And oh, I'm sorry, I had that in front of Michael's face to show you. Sorry about that. There we go. That is a couple of very important sacred fragrances for blessing the body and the soul. And so if you can imagine what these fragrances smell like, and maybe you can even go and find them somewhere. Maybe you have them in your home, or maybe you'll go visit a store tomorrow where you can get a fragrance of what we're smelling over here. And I'm going to put some on my hands and then hold my hands out to the camera so you can put all of your blessings and love and prayers into my hands. You can imagine that these are your hands. And you can put a breath into my hands so that they can embody this collective, all of these beautiful friends and family members, including the friends that can't be with us on this meeting right now, but we know are holding this light of intention, this heart of prayer. I'll keep them here for a few more breaths so you can put your own love and blessings into these hands. And then the warmth and the living strength of these hands with this sacred oil of frankincense and myrrh will come over to offer blessings and prayers of gratitude, of love, of courage, of faith, of deep knowing, of clear awareness. Offering all of this love in our prayers that can connect Michael's living awareness with his immortal soul that is connected up into the heavens through the crown, rising, opening with a deep knowing of the vastness of the universe, the pure light of the divine being, one beautiful, exquisite drop of which has been parading around as the Atman, the soul of Michael, in this human form that we can recognize and celebrate. And bringing this blessing into Michael's third eye, this pure, perfect, infinite awakeness that knows with no doubt, with only love and only wisdom, the reality of the soul, that is at peace with the limitation of the body and the freedom that is coming from this world of limitation. We'll also offer this blessing to the human eyes that have beheld and continue to behold so much beauty in this world, the beauty of nature, the beauty of the earth, of the sky, the beauty of the sun, the beauty of color, the beauty of the faces of Michael's loved ones. And knowing that when these eyes close, the eternal eyes remain open. Offering this blessing to Michael's ears, these living human ears that have heard laughter and sobs, music, so much music, some of which has been really questionable, and some of which has been really phenomenal. The magic and the beauty of music that has flown into these ears to delight Michael's spirit. The sounds of the voices of all of these loved ones that Michael has heard and listened to with so much care, with so much compassion, so much grace. A blessing for Michael's nose for the ability to inhale scents and fragrances of flowers. He still stops to smell every flower on our walks, and the fragrance of foods, of incense, of prayer, the fragrance and the scent of those that he loves, breathing in, breathing out. Michael's mouth that has not only tasted such delicious foods and spices, including chocolates and all the warm spices that Michael has loved in abundance, all of the cumins and curries and all of the cinnamon and cardamom, all of the salt, all of the sugar, all of the sweetness, all of the savory delights, and also this mouth that has uttered so many words with so many syllables and so much prayer, so much mantra, so much sacred sound that has issued forth from these beautiful lips. A blessing for Michael's throat, for this voice, for the expression that wisdom has flown through to grace all of us. A blessing for Michael's heart, this immeasurable, vast, powerful, luminous heart. I have one of our hands on the front and one of our hands on the back so that his heart can feel really held by all of us. The seen and the unseen, the felt and the known. We're not quite done yet, and we're not going to get too graphic, don't worry, but I'm going to point this down a little further into this deep belly, this power center. All of the balance, the strength, the core of this physical body that has provided so much stability, so much direct, clear purpose, and has been such a radiant sunlight of strength. I want to bring our hands, all of our hands, and offer this blessing to Michael's hands that have created and held, shaped, crafted so much beauty, art, words, and handled infinite beads of prayer, of malas, that have held the hands of all of these beautiful beings that Michael has loved, still loves, will continue to love. You won't be able to see what I'm doing now because I'm going to come right in front here to touch Michael's knees that are the symbol of humility, of surrender, of flexibility, of flow, of trust, of devotion, of prayer. And finally, bringing our hands as a blessing to Michael's feet that you also can't see, but you'll just have to trust that I'm touching his feet that have carried him on infinite, innumerable steps, that have provided him the stability, the balance, so much yoga, so many trail runs, so many long walks. These feet. Most of you have seen Michael's adorable toes, but I want you to know that we're offering an extra loving blessing of celebration and delight in the adorable toes that have been carrying Michael through this world, this lifetime. Okay. We know that we are not our bodies, but we celebrate and love them so much. We celebrate and love Michael's body and the privilege that we all have had to be with him in this body in this lifetime, to be able to hold him and hug him and be close to him and feel his voice and his breath. And we give thanks. We're going to close with one more song and also one more short prayer of blessing. And I'm pretty confident that I'm going to cry through this and won't be able to do a good job singing it. And it is what it is. This is a Celtic blessing. And you are welcome to sing this for Michael's journey, for the adventure of his soul. And you are also welcome to know that Michael is singing this for all of us as a blessing for our ongoing lives and for the journeys of our souls. So to whatever extent you need to sing it, offering it forth, and to whatever extent you need to welcome it in, please do both of those things entirely. All right, the words are in the chat window for you. And I think we'll sing it through twice. I think I'll play it through on the guitar twice. I'll sing it however much my voice lets me sing it. May the road rise with you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall softly on your fields until we meet again. May God hold you in the hollow of her hand. May the road rise with you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall softly on your fields until we meet again. May God hold you We'll close with a Sufi prayer that is the prayer of protection that we also visit every day, and that takes on a particular meaning in particular circumstances. So it's in the chat window. You're welcome to join us for this closing prayer if you wish. I come from a perfect source. I am bound to a perfect goal. The light of the perfect being is kindled in my soul. I live and move and have my being in God. Nothing in the past or present has power to touch me. I rise above all. Do you have a final word or two? Do you have a final word or two?
Bless you all. Bless you all. So grateful. Wishing you such peace and such joy. Please know what a difference you have made in my life, in this world, and keep shining. Keep shining. Please know how bright your light is. Love you.